pen with a magic marker or sticky notes to kind of do that kind of thing. And it's obviously great to go online and read stuff there. But the bottom line is just get on there, do it, build up your library of resources, organizing things so that you can really start working on yourself.
Absolutely. And there are so many great resources out there. If you're looking into strictly educational resources, there's Khan Academy. This is free on your computer, and they're lessons in basics like math and science, but they also go into personal finance, how the stock market works, how your credit cards work, things that are good to know just in everyday life. And of course, Chip mentioned magazines. Apple recently unveiled what they call their News Plus service. And I'm a subscriber to this. I find it absolutely fantastic. For $10 a month, you literally get dozens of magazines on your iPad or on your phone. So you can read them at your leisure. You can get alerts if something that you're interested in pops up. But this is an entire library of magazines on all sorts of topics, from entertainment to economics to sciences. I mean, I personally have subscriptions to things like Wired, Entrepreneur, The Atlantic, all through this service. And that's, $10 a month for all of these magazines. You can't buy them on the newsstand for that anymore.
That's wild. I mean, between that and Audible, I mean, you can read and listen to anything that you want, and it costs you $20 a month.
Yeah. And it's $20 that's so well invested. I mean, it's such a little amount of money for all of that information and all of that entertainment and knowledge. And there's also things like Apple has the iTunes University app, or iTunes U, which actually has free courses from colleges that you can take through the app.
It's pretty.
You can get. It is, and I mean, we're not talking about courses from What's the Matter You. These are courses from Harvard University, from Yale, from Stanford, and you can take these for free.
Absolutely. Obviously, if you're going to be getting into this, it's really, really important for you to develop a routine for yourself to do it. And we've talked a lot about time management, and this is one of those items that has to go on your calendar. So I saw a little article with some bullet points about how to learn something new every day. And here are some ideas that can help you about doing this. And obviously, number one is get in the habit of reading by scheduling your time to do so, or whether it's that or Audible or whatever. Number two, and building a network of go-to experts to ask questions. I mean, this is all about, we talk a lot about networking and relationships, but if you can develop a group with some like-minded people to get together from time to time and have your resources of experts out there, that's a great way to do that too. Becoming a member of an association related to your work and initiating networking, that's a great way to continue your personal development. Teach somebody else. Obviously, whatever you're learning, you should be sharing out there with other people. We talked about conducting research and investigations. You can go to the library and just walk around and explore. Observe what's happening around you. We talk a lot about mindfulness, but by being mindful and just observing what's going on, something that you're interested in might just come out of your head or just be right in front of your face just by observing it. So there's a lot of different ways to do that. But the bottom line is you should set aside time in an organized fashion, put that in your calendar where you're going to start on your own personal development, even if it's as little as just 10, 15 minutes a day.
Yeah, it's so important that you make time for this. And primarily, we've been talking about methods that the education is coming to you. But obviously, there are a lot of ways that you can learn more going elsewhere. your local library, museums, art galleries. Chip just mentioned joining a professional association. Most of these have events that they have workshops at where you can learn. There are a lot of opportunities at local colleges and local libraries that they put on workshops for you to attend. And it's never too late to learn new things. Most community colleges will actually allow seniors to attend classes for free. So you have those opportunities. There's always a way to keep learning. And it's not just about getting ahead. There are physical benefits to continuing your learning. You can keep your mind sharp. So the more you're learning, the more you're reading, the more you're challenging your mind, the less likely you are to deal with things like Alzheimer's, dementia, lack of, failing memory. Learning is literally exercising your brain so that as you age, you're not going to have to deal with these problems.
Yeah, I mean, other benefits of a personal development program, one of them is forcing yourself outside your comfort zone. If there's something that you're not that knowledgeable about, but you want to learn more about so you don't get stuck in a situation where you feel kind of helpless in the future, take out a book or go online and read about it and build up what you know about that. Obviously, it's a great way to improve upon the strengths that you already have and make yourself the expert in your field and become known as that. It's a wonderful confidence booster, especially the more you know about different things, the easier it is for you when you're meeting other people to get involved in conversations about different areas of interest. And obviously, the more that you're concentrating on your personal development, it's going to improve your self-awareness of everything going on around you. So there's a lot of benefits, just as you were talking about exercising the brain in putting together your personal development program.
Right. And you should never be shy about sharing information that you've learned through, books, Audible, podcasts, wherever the knowledge comes from. Mark Twain famously said, "I never let my education get in the way of my learning." And it's very true. Learning has nothing to do with a formal education. I know a lot of people that have advanced degrees but don't actually know all that much. That piece of paper doesn't mean you actually learned. It just meant you went to class. And there is a difference between sitting through a class and learning. And it's about the attention you pay and the effort that you put forth.
Yeah, as time goes on, we all develop our own master's degrees in life. It's an ML, and that's just by doing this. So at my age, that's what I consider myself. I don't have degrees in a lot of different areas, just accounting and this and that, whatever. But the experience that I have and the education I have and a whole lot of business areas, personal development, and a whole lot of other different things is pretty amazing. And that's what people develop throughout their lives. And the more that you work on that, the better off you're going to be. And it really is a whole lot of fun and very fulfilling to be going through this on a daily basis rather than just living day to day, like I talk about in the land of Sameville, just living, getting up and living another day and doing the same thing tomorrow. So the good news is you can start today. Again, black out 10, 15 minutes and start on your program.
Right. And there's so much to learn. Remember that just because you knew something once doesn't mean it's still the same. You need to keep learning. I mean, I have given presentations and I am considered an expert in topics that actually didn't exist when I went to college. So, I didn't take a course in this. There weren't any. I learned it by doing, by reading, by talking to other experts. And keeping up on what's going on is very important, because even things that happened millennia ago keep changing. When I was a kid, you learned about dinosaurs, you learned about the Brontosaurus. Well, now it turns out the Brontosaurus doesn't actually exist. It was a mistake that people made because they mixed up the bones of two dinosaurs. When I was in school, Pluto was a planet. Now it's not considered a planet anymore. So even things in hard science change. You can always learn more. And you can rediscover things that you used to have a passion for, but put aside because it had no practical value in what you were doing. Pick those up again, learn more about them, see where those fields have gone.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, take out a sheet of paper and write down all these things that have interested you over time, and keep that paper there and keep adding to it as you see that. If you put it down in writing and it's in your face, then you're going to have different things that you can start looking up and going after education wise. But start on paper. That's a great way to do it.
And just think how easy it is with some of the sources we've talked about, especially audio sources like Audible, podcasts, lectures. You can listen to them in your car while you're going to work. You can listen to them on your phone while you're doing the dishes. It doesn't even need to take up a lot of additional time. You can fit it in while you're doing other things. So we're just about at the end of our time. So, Chip, what do you think is the big takeaway our listeners should have from this episode?
Well, professionally, there's an old phrase that says our capacity to earn is directly related to our willingness to learn. And we talked about people these days, it's so easy to look stuff up on Wikipedia and this and that, whatever, just when it hits you. But so the bad news is that it is easy to do that if you just want to be lazy. But the good news is, if you really want to learn about different things, that same technology is there to help you out every step of the way. So the takeaway here is to come up with a personal development plan, write down some topics that you're interested in, and just start doing it on a daily basis. And you're going to find that you're going to love it and do it more and more and more and more. And once you do, start sharing it with others.
Exactly. I think for me, the big takeaway is that there are so many benefits to continuing your learning, and it can be done so inexpensively and in a lot of cases free that there's really no reason for you not to do it. The benefits are there for the taking, and it doesn't even take a lot of time or money to do it. So it's something that it's really a no-brainer, which is probably a bad phrase to use when you're talking about learning.
Turn a no-brainer into a brain.
Exactly. You've been listening to the Success Showcase. You can catch us every week at xvadio.com/podcasts. You can also find us at the iTunes Store, the Apple Podcasts app, Spotify Radio, iHeartRadio app, Google Play, and wherever you find podcasts. Remember, make this your best week ever and make next week even better. See you then.